Alright, hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the weekly vendor restock like we do every single week. By the way, I'm a little bit sick right now, hence why I haven't been uploading, and my voice is going to sound a little bit congested, so my bad on that. I actually was sick like a couple weeks ago. Now I just have a nasal problem. It's like an infection or something, so I'm not really sick, I just have a nasal infection. So that's why I sound all congested and everything. But yeah, anyways, let's get right into the video. If you do enjoy, please be sure to drop a like, as that does help me out a ton, and I am usually the first person to upload this, so if you aren't subscribed already, please make sure to do so that you can be some of the first people to see the weekly vendor restock every single week. Now let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off at the weapons vendor here, we have a rather crazy vector. It has unforgiving, vicious, and destructive, which is a pretty nice roll, and the crit damage roll is really high as well. So for whatever reason you're looking for a vector, feel free to pick this up. Unfortunately though, SMGs are not that great in this patch, and vectors are probably not going to be the best bet even if you are going to use an SMG. But I mean, it's still a pretty good roll if you're looking for one, maybe for Alharbrid or something, just to get some decent talents. So there's some pretty good talents on there. And vicious, unforgiving, and destructive are rather nice. And then there's a vertical grip here as well, which is pretty bad, but yeah, pretty decent vector. At the advanced weaponry vendor, we got a Pecan, Picacity, and Centurion like always, and we got a PX4 Storm, not the best in the world. Wow, pretty nice AUG here as well, unforgiving and responsive. Again, pretty much same story, just like the vector. SMGs aren't the greatest in the world, but if you're looking for one, that's a pretty nice roll. Crit damage could be a little bit higher, but is what it is. SA58 here with responsive and brutal, that's a pretty nice roll. These are fun to use in PvE. In PvP they're not great, but in PvE, the high per bullet damage, using it with strikers, a lot of fun. Then we got an M870 here, pretty bad rolls. An SVD, deadly, meh, headshot could be a lot higher. MG5 here, nothing too special. Then a quick release mag, a large suppressor, missing out on crit chance and crit damage, which is unfortunate. Then a vertical grip with optimal range, that's pretty bad as well. And then a headshot damage, crit damage, microscopes, nothing that great. Alright, let's take a look at what they got in the terminal. Alright, moving on to the Phoenix credit vendor, we got a Liberator here. Like always, Valkyria, Historian, Police. That's pretty bad. Navy MP5N, pretty bad talents as well. ACR, Unforgiving, and Brutal, that's not too bad. ACRs aren't the best in the world, as you can see. I mean, comparing it to my lightweight M4, the base damage and the RPM is just insanely different. But I mean, it's pretty decent rolls if you're looking for an okay assault rifle. Not the best in the world, of course, but it's okay. SRS, MG5, nothing too special. Rejuvenated mask, got a striker mask. Lone Star mask, forceful chest, alpha chest here, definitely not as good as last week's. Inventive backpack, Predmark backpack, Hunter's Faith backpack, ooh, that's a pretty crazy roll. Prosperous knee pads, Tactician knee pads with the Nomad, Final Measure knee pads, Firecrest knee pads, Nimble holster here, Deadeye holster, Savage gloves, which are pretty good if you can roll off. Electronics are pretty decent for PvE. PvP not the greatest because you're missing out on a lot of crit damage and because you have to roll off electronics, but pretty decent, I would say. Sentry's Call gloves, Reclaimer gloves, Banshee gloves, not the best. Defense gloves. We got electronics, performance mod, high velocity mag, flash hider, small grip. Pretty decent grip right there. Micro red dot. Nothing great there. Alright, let's take a look at the blueprints. Alright, we got a M9. Wow. MG5, electronics mask, firearms gloves, nice. So if you're looking to craft some God Savage gloves, you could do that with the firearms gloves, that's pretty cool. High velocity mag, quick release mag, performance gear mod, SRS, Magnum. I'll just slowly scroll down here. Alright, nothing too special. That's going to be it for that. Let's move on to the safe house. Alright, moving on to Autumn's Hope safe house. We have a pretty decent reckless chest here. The armor is going to be a little bit low here, but I mean, if you're looking for reckless chest, this one has a pretty nice, oh, I don't want to buy it, has a pretty nice stam roll here. Unfortunately, you have health on kill and EDR. You'd rather have health or damage to elites or something like that, but it also had increased kill XP if you're going to be using it in PvE, which is pretty nice. So if you're looking for reckless chest, there's one here that you can pick up at Autumn's Hope. There's also a performance mod here with ballistic shield health and then pulse duration. Alright, at Kerman Station, I know some people like to use SASG-12s in PvP for the stagger, so if you're looking for one, this one has Brutal and Swift. It's not going to be the best in the world, but Swift is actually pretty decent when running with an SASG-12. Brutal's okay if you're going to be stacking a lot of headshots. I know a lot of people don't use shotguns, but for the few that do, you can pick this up over at, what's the name of the safe house? Kerman Station again. It's not the best, but hey, it's an SASG-12, Brutal and Swift, pretty decent. Speaking of SASG-12s, completely disregard the last one because this one's actually better. At Camp Hudson at the weapon vendor, we have a tactical one, which is better because it allows you to use, I believe, a grip, which the other one doesn't. And it has Unforgiving and Brutal rather than Swift and Brutal. Brutal is in the third slot here, so you're not going to be getting like Competent or something, but this one's probably going to be better than the other one. I do believe the base damage on it's higher as well. Then we have a Suppressor here, which is pretty crappy. But yeah, if you're looking for a better SHG-12 than the other one, then you can head over to Camp Hudson. Also at Camp Hudson at the gear vendor here, we got an electronics mod with armor on it. The armor could be a little bit higher and the electronics should be a little bit higher, but if you're looking to run a Marco style healing build with Reclaimer and you're trying to stack a lot of skill power, or maybe you're doing something else with a lot of skill power, feel free to pick this up, as this will get your electronics pretty high. If you don't have any other like main gear pieces to sacrifice and you'd rather put it into mods, then you can definitely do that. Again, that's going to be at Camp Hudson. Pretty decent mod here. Well, looky here at the last call safe house. Look what we got, boys. Another lightweight M4. First off, let's compare the base damage. It's a little bit on the low end. It could be about, I think the max is 18.7 with the amount of firearms that I have. It does depend on your firearms, and the enemy armor damage isn't the best. But if you're looking for one, it has Vicious and Deadly. Capable isn't great. Actually, on console, you guys might like having Capable because to help with the recoil problems. I'm not sure. I don't really have many recoil problems with me personally because I'm on PC. But if you're on console and you have, if it's just too hard to control the vertical recoil, Capable might be pretty nice for you. So we got Vicious, Capable, Deadly. Vicious is not the best in the world, nor is Deadly. But if you pack those two together, I mean, it's pretty decent, I would guess. I personally prefer to have Brutal over Vicious with my Alpha Bridge setup, but I mean, this is still a pretty decent M4. Vicious is definitely not a complete garbage talent. It's decent, at least. It's usable. Same with Deadly, and maybe if you're on console, you can use Capable. Maybe roll off Deadly for Competent if you like to have Capable. Just try it out first. If you don't like Capable, then you could roll that off for Unforgiving, Destructive, Responsive, whatever it is. And yeah, guys, pretty decent M4 here. It's not the best. I think not last week's, but the week before. I don't remember. Whenever we had a lightweight M4 or something like that, it was probably better. I'm pretty sure the last one that had Vicious on it, but this one's still pretty decent. So if you're still looking for one, this one's here for you guys. And then we also got a crit chance reload speed. Okay, that's garbage. All right, well, this lightweight M4 is here at the last call safe house. Alright, at the firewall safe house, if you're looking for a stam mod with armor, feel free to pick this up. It has 253 stam and 256 armor. The stam could be about, I think, like 10 to 20 higher. Same thing with the armor, so it's not going to be perfectly rolled, but if you're still looking for these, I definitely recommend picking them up. I know there's a lot of people that are having problems with their toughness, so if you make sure to get armor mods in all of your pieces of gear, then your toughness will be great. Again, that's going to be at the firewall safe house. Definitely make sure to pick that up if you don't already have some. Alright, moving on to East 42nd Street, we actually are finished with all of the safe houses, and there weren't any other good things at the rest of the checkpoints, but we got a pretty crazy ass AK here. It has Unforgiving and Responsive and Predatory in the third slot. Third slot you can roll for Competent or something, so if you're having a problem getting a good lightweight M4, or you just like to try out an AK, this one's actually pretty decently rolled. AK is definitely not going to be as good as lightweight M4s or something, but I think I might actually myself buy this just to test it out, because the rolls in this are pretty good. I could get Competent on it, and I just want to try it out because the base damage on this is absolutely insane, and I heard that the recoil control isn't that bad on it. So if you're looking for a good AK and you just want to try it out, Unforgiving, Responsive, could roll for Competent or something in the third slot, it would be great with Alpha Bridge. Not as good as a lightweight M4, of course, but still pretty decent. And then Astute Gloves, Secret Mine Explosion Radius if you like to run Secret Mines, you're an evil bastard, but whatever. And then, okay, that's garbage. Alright, moving on. Alright, at West 31st Street, we got a rather insane refresh mask here. If you're looking to be really tanky, you could roll off the electronics there and go for stam or something. It already natively rolled enemy armor damage. I'd prefer to have crit chance or something here instead of health, but I mean, if you are going to be using this mask, chances are you probably want to be rather tanky. So going for this, you're going to have an insane amount of health, and I mean, you'll probably have max stam roll as well. And look at the armor on that, man. 1,000 armor. That's crazy. I'm actually going to pick one of these up myself. I prefer to have crit chance, but my refresh mask I have isn't the greatest in the world, so I'd prefer to have this one with the more armor and higher stam roll. So yeah, pretty nice roll there. We also got a crit damage, stability, optimal range, grip here. I'd prefer to have reload speed instead of optimal range, but stability is pretty nice as well. It doesn't take off from uncomplicated that much, so don't worry about losing damage there. And I mean, crit damage in the main stats pretty nice as well, so definitely make sure to check out this stuff if you're interested at West 31st Street. Alright, at West 39th Street, it's not the best in the world, but we got a pretty decent extended mag. If you're looking for one, it doesn't cost a lot of DZ funds, so it's pretty easy to get. 108% mag size and reload speed and crit damage. Instead of the crit damage, I'd prefer to have crit chance, but it's a pretty decent mag overall. I mean, 108 is really high. Reload speed's pretty cool, and then instead of crit damage, I'd prefer crit chance, but I mean, still pretty good if you're looking for one, so definitely make sure to pick that up at West 39th Street. Alright, at West 42nd Street, just if anybody is interested, if you plan on using a Super 90 anytime soon, this one has Deadly and Vicious. Those aren't the best talents in the world, like I explained earlier when talking about that M4, but if you're looking for one, here's one. There's also a Rehabilitated Mask that's pretty crappy, but is what it is, and then Smart Cover Damage Resilience there. So, yeah, feel free to check it out if you're interested at West 42nd. Over at West 46th Street, I know that not everybody has a good muzzle, so if you're looking for one, this one's okay. I'd rather have headshot damage here instead of crit damage, and I mean, you're missing out on 5% crit chance, or I mean, no, what am I saying? Headshot damage with this ability being in place of it. But I mean, if you're looking for one, crit damage, crit chance, not the best in the world, but it's still pretty decent as it has 2 of the 3 things that you'd want. Again, I'd rather have headshot damage, but it is what it is. Again, that's going to be at West 46th Street. Alright guys, that's going to be it for all the checkpoints. Now we're just going to take a look at all the DZ vendors, of course, inside the DZ, and then that's going to be all. Let's hope there's some decent stuff. Let's pray to RNGesus. Hallelujah. Alright, let's take a look. Some Alpha Breach? No Alpha Breach. A god-awful Firecrest mask. A pretty trash defense chest as the armor's rather low and the major attributes are pretty bad. So is the stam roll. A very bad sentry backpack. Tactician knee pads that are pretty poorly rolled. Holster of the Nomad that's pretty bad. And some pretty bad tactician gloves. Wow, I don't think that could have possibly gone any worse. Alright, maybe next time we don't pray to RNGesus. Alright guys, that I guess that doesn't work. Alright. Wow, that's just unfortunate. Alright, moving on. Alright, now we're in the DZ5 safe room. I'm gonna see if this guy has any decent mods this week. We got a high velocity mag, this is pretty bad. Last week's was way better. Pretty decent headshot damage and crit damage suppressor. You want to have crit chance on this. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have it, and the headshot damage is rather low. You can get up to 18.5. Excuse me. Last week's was actually way better than this one, so that's unfortunate. Then we got a hand stop here, which is pretty decent. You miss out on crit damage if you want to use this. The reload speed's actually not bad though in PvE scenarios, and PvP is pretty decent as well. But you'd want to have crit damage instead of optimal range here. And then on the Russian red dot, accuracy, stability, headshot damage, pretty bad roll there. So yeah, nothing too crazy. Alright, moving on to DZ4. Alright, just for shits and giggles, let's see what this DZ4 mod vendor has. Hopefully something decent. Firearms mod, damn. That's pretty, okay, that's actually pretty good. Disregard the performance mod being complete trash. The firearms mod's pretty good. The armor roll could be significantly higher, but again, if you're looking for one of these, the firearms roll is actually pretty nice on this. It could be tiny bit higher, but the firearms roll is pretty good. Definitely don't neglect that. And the armor is okay. Could be easily higher, but I mean, definitely pick this up if you're looking for one. Definitely not too bad. So that's pretty good. Again, it's going to be at the DZ4 gear mod vendor if you're just wondering where that is. Pretty good firearms mod though. Let's hope there's a decent weapon over here. It doesn't look like it, but we'll check anyways. Expert Toxic, Magnum, pretty bad. AUG there. Decent ACR actually if you're going to be using it in PvE, or actually in PvP too, it's pretty decent. Destructive is a good talent, competent third slot, pretty nice there. We've got a deadly commanding M8, nothing too special. Pretty bad M700, and then a pretty bad MG5. So nothing too great here. Only thing decent is this ACR. Let's hope there's some good Savage Gloves or something at DZ2, and then we're gonna be done. Alrighty, let's see what this vendor's got for sale. We got a Tenacious Mask. Ooh, pretty nice. Unfortunately, it's damage to elites though. Be better if that was literally anything else. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. If you're looking for one for PvE, it's okay, I guess. Robust chest, technical backpack, prosperous knee pads, recovered, decisive gloves. Alright, nothing too special. Well, yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to be it. Basically, this week was just another lightweight M4 and then some mods with armor. Why am I yawning right now? Oh my god, I'm retarded. Alright. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe for videos similar to this one. I'm going to go take a nap because I am tired. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the lightweight M4. Peace out.